This guy just goes for a whole 90 minutes or whatever, 60 minutes as a passenger. Just not good enough. Doesn't really offer us anything up front. We're actually like, it feels like we're down to 10 men when he's up front. I think he will come good. I think the issue with probably Gyökeres at the moment is him not understanding the players and the players not understanding him. And I think once that tunes in, possibly we'll start to get a bit more joy out of him. I don't mind Havertz getting involved, and I don't mind Marino. I don't mind Jesus. Anyone starting but him, you know, because he's just not giving us anything.
D?
We've got to be honest. Gyökeres has been terrible. He has been all season. He's been shockingly bad. That's just the facts of it. But overall, in the last 5 Premier League games, we've won 4, drawn 1, and the only draw has been against Liverpool, which, regardless, are a top team, regardless, and can beat or draw with anyone on any day. So we've got to be careful not to focus solely on individual players and focus on what the team are doing. And if the team are winning games, because that's what's happening right now, they're winning most games consistently. We haven't really lost many games this season. So if the team are winning games, you kind of just got to stick with the winning formula. You don't want to start changing things. Right now, Gyökeres is not scoring goals, but the team is winning with Gyökeres playing. So you kind of just got to stick with what's working. I wouldn't start changing it up too much to try and get the best out of one individual player because his performances are not the highest in the world right now. Because you do that, and that could be a domino effect on the rest of the team. So I would keep it exactly how it is. Keep Gyökeres up front. Keep the players playing where they are. They all know what's going on. He's not been brilliant, but he's part of a winning formula right now. So you kind of need to keep it, especially in the semi-final. I don't really want to be changing it now. So that's my take on it.
Dan, what are you saying?
Yes, boys. Good to see you all, mate.
Big up.
Tomorrow for me, just touching on Viktor Gyökeres, it is true what D says, right? We're winning. We're winning loads of games of football. I think we've only lost two games this season, is it? That's all we've lost. So, yeah, we've been nothing short of phenomenal this season. And look, has he played a part of that? Of course, yes, because he's been on the pitch. However, I do think we can go to another level. I think everyone knows that Arsenal, there's another level. There's another gear for us to go in. And I think Kai Havertz, when he's fully fit and firing, is by far our best striker. Now, is he fit enough for tomorrow? Probably not. So, it'll be interesting. He'll be on the bench. Jesus will be on the bench. It's likely Gyökeres is going to start. I think you have to go full strength. I think this competition is such a big competition for us, more than it's ever been in probably the history of the club, because we need to win this competition. These group of players need to win a trophy. If they can win that trophy and get that mental block done, apart from Saka, who wasn't even in the first 11 in the 2020 FA Cup. So, and Arteta, it wasn't his group of players. So if they can win that trophy, I just think it's so important. I think you have to go strong. Now, look, Trossard's a doubt anyway. I would have been starting Martinelli anyway, because for me, you have to start after scoring a hat-trick. I don't care how good Trossard's been. Plus, it's another cup game. Maybe it would be different if it was a league game. But I think there's not that much between Martinelli and Trossard, really and truly. You know, he's our top goal scorer of 11 goals this season. So for me, Martinelli must start. You could go with Ben White at right back and Timber at left back. But has Ben White got another 90 minutes in him again? He played him 3 times in a row and he broke down again. So I think they have to be cautious with that.
Sorry to cut you down. Sorry to cut you. Yeah, I think we've got to be careful not to revert to type. Like we've done this already. We've had the Martinelli in the team for a couple of years, and we've had the Havertz in the team for 2-3 years. It hasn't worked. We can't get thinking about reverting back. Do
you not think we'll become a better team with Kai Havertz? Because when Kai Havertz was in our team, that's when the first season we bought him. He played midfield for the first half of the season, and we got a consolation penalty he was given against Bournemouth, and he only scored 1 goal. Then he went up top. Then he went up top for the second part of the season. It was after the Dubai break, around this time, and he ended up with 13 league goals that season. So he got 12 as striker in the second part of the season. Last season he got injured at this point, and he had 15 goals. I think he's just a better player than Gyökeres. He's more intelligent.
Have you tapped out then, Dan, with Gyökeres? Have you tapped out?
If I haven't, I'm very, very close to, because what I kept saying to myself is all he needs is a big goal against Liverpool. And I kept saying it on my streams, Dan. I've got a feeling he's going to do it. If you ask me, what player do you want to score tomorrow? I'm picking Gyökeres. I want him to score more than anyone. However, now, even if he does get a big goal, I just don't see him as an Arsenal striker. Listen, we could win the league and he could get 8 league goals, and I think he'd end up. They might keep him for 1 year, but I can see him going back on loan to Sporting Lisbon within a season or two.
Can I just say it? I was on a stream before the season started, and everyone was talking about, we need the missing piece. This team creates chances. All we need is a goal scorer. And everyone was waxing lyricals about getting Gyökeres. People was also predicting Gyökeres will get 25, 30 goals in all comps. I came on and said he'd be lucky to get 15 goals. And people thought I was mad. And I said, well, it's the way Arsenal play. Gyökeres scored 97 goals in 102 games. 97 in 102 games. You don't go from doing that in half a season and being an absolute flop in that short amount of time. Now, everyone was saying, including people on this panel, previous shows, I don't care who we sign, I just don't want to see Havertz up front. Don't even know why we signed him.
Yeah. 100%.
Don't even know why we signed him. Anyone up front but Havertz. Christian was saying it, everyone was saying it. Don't want to see Havertz up front. Now the narrative is, Havertz is this, Havertz is that. He's going to get us across the line. Well, he never got us across the line last season.
For the record,
hang on a minute.
I've always been a fan of Havertz.
We have a club have spent £1 billion and we're reverting back, all barring Zubimendi when everyone's fit, to the same 11 that failed last season and the season before. And we've spent £1 billion.
I'm with you on that.
We've also spent £1 billion, and Trossard has been our most consistent best striker in the final third.
He's been the best attacker for sure. Yeah. This
is Trossard, the guy that we was going to sell in the summer, and every Arsenal fan would have been happy for him to go for 35, 40 million. Even Trossard wanted to go until they offer him a pay rise. Didn't want to play for the club. Now, everyone's waxing lyricals over Havertz. Jesus, if Berta gets rid of Jesus, he's done a miracle. The guy's washed. He's been injured more than he's played. If he can get 30 million for Jesus, the man's a genius. Now everyone wants Jesus and Havertz in the side before Gyökeres. The point of the matter is, the manager hasn't signed a striker in 5 seasons. Everyone was absolutely celebrating the fact that we got Gyökeres. We'll be doing this all next season around the stadium. Gyökeres has rocked up.
Apart from Kenny.
Can't get a tune out of him. The same manager that couldn't get a tune out of Lacazette, Aubameyang and all of these men can't get a tune out of him. Now everyone wants Havertz in the side when they didn't even want him anywhere near the team last season. I just don't, honestly.
Can I just go back to the?
It just don't make sense to me.
The team you're saying we're going to revert
back onto Chelsea tomorrow. We've got to go strong because we need to go and win that match. Because if we don't win that match and we fall behind, it's the semi-final. We all know what happens in semi-finals. We need a 2-goal buffer to take back to the Emirates. That's all I'm saying on Gyökeres, man. I can't believe this fan base and the players and everyone else are waxing lyricals over Kai Havertz when no one wanted him near the team. No one wanted him even near the team last season. It just amazes
everyone,
me.
That's
Go on, Dan. You come back in, Dan. Go on then, Dan.
I've always been a fan of Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz scored big goals for Arsenal. I've not seen Gyökeres score 1 big goal for Arsenal. You know, Kai Havertz got 2 goals against Chelsea.
And he's got a penalty at Everton.
A penalty at Everton. All right. Is that what we're dealing with? Kai Havertz scored 2 goals against Chelsea. We beat him 5-0. He scored a great goal against Man City. We beat him 5-1. He scored against Tottenham. These are all title race games as well.
Where did that lead us to last season, Dan?
Havertz ain't good enough.
Hold on. Listen, for me, he's our best striker, though. He had 15 goals this time last season. How many Gyökeres got? Kai Havertz is a more intelligent player. He's got more pedigree. Gyökeres scored 97 goals, as you said, DJB.
He hasn't got more. Why has he got more pedigree?
Because he scored in the Champions League final. He scored in the Champions League final. He's won Chelsea in Champions League.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, who do you think got the highest ceiling? Who do you think got the highest ceiling?
Havertz by a million miles. Listen, he scored 97 goals in 102 games, right? Yeah. I remember when I heard this stat, Tottenham fans, Man United fans were throwing it at me, and I kind of just tried to put it to the back of my head. 2 of them were against the top 8 in Portugal. All the rest of them were against the bottom 8 or whatever it was. Yeah. So he was the bottom half of the table. That's where most of his goals came. That level, Portuguese league, it's one thing, the top 6, but the bottom 6, that's where most of his goals were coming from. Now, that team that everyone keeps alluding to, these players were brought in. The reason why we didn't win the league was more down to the fact that we didn't have the squad. It wasn't nothing to do with the first 11. You look at Chelsea now, their first 11 is a great 11, but their depth is not good enough. You know, when people are doing right now, Arsenal and Chelsea, you're seeing it everywhere all over YouTube, and everyone's got 5 Chelsea players in and 5 Arsenal, but our depth is much better. The team 2 seasons ago, right, got 89 points. Scored 91 goals and got 28 wins, the most wins in our history, the most goals. If this team goes on to get 89 points again, they'll win the league. So the point is that you can revert to the same team, but you've got better players to come in. You ain't got Sterling coming on, or who else was coming on. Do you know what I mean? You've got better players now.
But we also don't have Havertz up front either. That's the point. The point is the same way you're saying that we haven't got we've got other players to come in. Also, one of the people not playing this season.
We've got 4 strikers to come in, D.
But what I'm saying is,
how many did we have last year? When Havertz got injured, we were done.
No, but Havertz hasn't played this season. So this whole brilliant record that we've got, we've only lost 2 games. We're top of the Champions League. We're top of the Premier League. We're in the latter stages of the League Cup and stuff. Havertz is not part of that. So Havertz is not. So this whole thing of Havertz being.
Listen, now, D, right now, I wouldn't start him right now. I don't think he's up to scratch yet. I'd still go with Gyökeres right now. However, if Havertz comes on and gets a goal against Chelsea, then he comes on against Forest and gets a goal.
Player, isn't it? He's just a squad player, but he's not the guy that we need to get the best out of. That's the point I'm making.
I think you lot are getting sentimental here. I think there's a lot of sentimentality going on here. I couldn't give a fuck who's scoring for Arsenal up top, whether it's Marino, Jesus, Gyökeres, or fucking Havertz, bro. Yes, we bought Gyökeres in because we needed an addition to the squad, and so far it doesn't seem to be working out. Some might say it's Arteta. DJB's already lined that up to say it's Arteta, but look, Liverpool had a similar thing with Darwin Núñez. He was 32 and 57 in Portugal. He comes to England and he's how many goals has he got for 25 in 95? It happens, and Klopp's meant to be one of the best managers that has rocked up in the Premier League in the last decade. Sometimes some players it just doesn't work out. And I heard the point Positive Dan is making, that if you look at some of Gyökeres' goals in Portugal, they weren't against big teams. Yes, he had scored a couple goals in the Champions League. Again, most of his goals were penalties. I know you still got to score them, but I think possibly we just have to put our hands up and say, look.
Strict though. Do you not think this team, with any of the strikers, would probably win the league? This team is that good. This team is credit to Arteta because it's his system that's going to win the league.
100%. No,
that's why we're going to win the league.
Agree with you.
So whether it's
conversation that we're having right now,
Marino, whoever it is,
the conversation that we're having right now, you would easily confuse that we are top of the table in the Premier League, semi-finals in the League Cup, top of the table in the Champions League, without Gyökeres fucking firing, without Saka firing. It's crazy. I know everyone wants to get on the Arteta bandwagon and start the narrative, but it's crazy to me. These narratives don't work. They only work when Arsenal aren't doing well. But now, we're flying.
No, listen, Stricto. I'm not solely aiming. It does happen. I do agree with you. I mean, there's players over the years that have moved to clubs and it hasn't worked out for them. I've been saying it on my streams. Your careers, it might not happen at Arsenal. And that could be the type of football we play. It could be the type of midfielders we've got. Chelsea, wouldn't it? It could, you had it, Shevchenko at Chelsea. The Liverpool guy that was balling out that went to Chelsea, Torres, didn't work out. And it does happen. I do agree with you. It does happen. But that can be that can be the systems in place. It can be whether we've got the right midfield players, whether they team up with Gyökeres or not. It ain't happening for Gyökeres. But what's frustrating me is that everyone's kind of, I'm like with D on this. Everyone's dismissing the fact that the whole reason why we bought Gyökeres was to make it work, because everyone didn't want, or the majority of fans didn't want, Havertz up front. And now it's like Havertz is like, oh, this is it. Havertz is back, and everyone's sort of excited about it. And it is a good addition to have back on the bench, and it is a good addition to have him fit, because he does bring something different. But I don't think we should be solely kind of washing our hands with Gyökeres, because let's not forget, the reason why we bought Gyökeres was because we were creating chances and we wasn't scoring them. And in some of the games last season and the season before that, we weren't picking up all 3 points because we wasn't scoring those goals. And that's why we bought Gyökeres. So it is a bit frustrating all round. But
the problem is,
I personally don't think Havertz is the answer right now. I don't think Gyökeres is. I've been saying that. I think he's been very, very disappointing.
The problem with Gyökeres is that the chances last season that we were having, and it's only now that we've got Gyökeres that I can see what the actual issue is. It weren't the problem. It wasn't the fact that we weren't. I mean, it was a problem that we weren't finishing. The problem with Gyökeres is he's not even there to finish it. He's not even around it to be.
Oh yeah.
To cause these things. To cause these reactions. He's nowhere near it. I remember the game against Liverpool. Saka put in brilliant balls in the box. Timber put in a ball in the action area and the danger. He was nowhere to be fucking seen.
Yeah, he's not anticipating, is he?
I don't know. Do you know what? I don't even think it's that. I think that's the case as well. But I think another part of it is most of these players in this team, in this Arsenal team, have played without a natural striker for about 5 years.
Yes,
they even had a natural striker in training. Most of them have not played with a natural striker for about 5 to 6 years. Saka, I don't even know if ever played with a natural striker ever.
Obama, he played with Abba.
Aubameyang, maybe. Apart from that, these men don't know what it's like to have a guy that wants the ball. How many times I've seen Gyökeres make a run that you meant to just put the ball through and run onto it, and people were recycling the ball. Arteta's a guy that wants to control every aspect of every game, so he wants the ball constantly. So he doesn't want you.
Have you seen his touch? But have you seen Gyökeres' touch?
Gyökeres has been terrible. That's not the point. Gyökeres has not been good. Don't get it twisted. No. He has not lived up to anything anywhere near it. But the point I'm making is, no one knows what the answer is. The players don't know the answer. Arteta doesn't know the answer. We don't know the answer. We don't have a clue why.
This is what I'm saying though. Look, I think all 4 of them have got a part to play. Marino, Gyökeres, Jesus, and Havertz. However, if they all get game time, which they probably will, because it's a long season, right? The games are coming thick and fast now. If one of them starts performing way better than the other 3, surely they deserve to start.